The fate of the world is once again in the hands of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We are relying the fate of the world on turtles, the slowest animals. What are we doing here, people? Tmnt, released in 2007 and is directed by Kevin Monroe, who's also directed such films like Dylan Dog Dead of Night, Ratchet and Clank, and Troll the Tale of a Tale. And this film is starring the voices of Chris Evans, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Mako, Kevin Smith, Patrick Stewart, Ziyi Zhang, and Lawrence Fishburne. 3,000 years ago, an ancient warrior unlocked 13 vicious monsters to roam the world and terrorize it at the cost of turning his fellow warriors into stone. Well, 3,000 years later, and in the depths of the sewers of New York City, the mutated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are struggling and getting antsy because their leader, Leonardo, has been assigned to travel the world to establish his leadership roots. Well, now that the planets are aligning here 3,000 years later, this is the only time that the ancient warrior, who by the way is immortal, can reverse the curse of being immortal and needs to find all the 13 monsters to bring them back to do evil things. Yeah, as I'm talking, I'm realizing just how all over the place this plot of this movie is. My god. Which is a little shocking, because this movie is only an hour 20. This is not that long of a film, and it crams so much in here. So much so that it sacrifices any character development at all. They really try with Leonardo. He is out on assignment and he is helping this poor village in South America, and it's supposed to establish like this leadership essence and spirit inside of him, even though I don't know what if it did at all, but he comes back to New York City and the other turtles are like, "Hey, bruh, how's it going? We're back in the saddle again." And Raphael has become his own vigilante, basically his own Batman, Iron Man take on it. He's just suited up in armor and he's like the Night Stalker or something. It feels like this is a great first draft of a epic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie that probably should have been made, but sadly got cut and became animation, and then they said, no, let's cut it down for time, let's just do a whole bunch of action stuff, and let's not focus on character and plot at all. I know that I have watched this movie before, and I always forget what happens in this thing. And even after watching this movie today, I kind of forget what happens in the end. I know they get all the 13 monsters that were released 3,000 years ago, and yet has never been seen up until 3,000 years later, because they need to find them, you see, to bring them back, and because the alignment is going to be shooting a beam into this one section of this rich dude's house who is the ancient warrior, because he doesn't want to be immortal anymore, because, you know, white people problems and stuff. But then the other warriors who return to stone, they're revived, but they don't want to not be immortal like this other dude, so they mess around, they capture Leonardo, and they're like, this is the 13 monster, why don't you go ahead and try doing it? Oh, wait, it's a lie. Gotcha, buddy. It's a lot, and this plot doesn't really make sense. If you watch that final battle scene, actually, the turtles spar with the monsters, and they spar with the ninjas, the stone ninjas, but they don't really do anything to solve the problem. Really, it's April O'Neil and Casey Jones who are the ones who go find that 13th monster and get him back in time, and they save the day. Leave it to Chris Evans. This was before he was ever Captain America. Leave it to Chris Evans and his Captain America-esque personality to come running and save the day here in New York City. On the positive side, though, I think the animation here is gorgeous, especially when we have that fight between Raphael and Leonardo on the rooftops in the rain. Like, that's just stunning. That is art on screen, and this 3D CGI-ish animation that's being used here is wonderful. I wish we could have just had it longer and used some of those beautiful character moments that we get in that scene, just staring at one another, and you just see the rain pellets just hitting them in the face and hitting their weapons, and having that moment between the angry brother and the brother who's assigned to lead them, and seeing that conflict back and forth. It's one of the best relationships in the lore of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I wish we would have gotten more of that, but no, it's a fight but then Leonardo gets captured and needs to be taken over to do the thing, and then it's totally just glossed over. Hell, even after the whole conflict in the end and resolution and everything, we really don't have any interaction between Raphael and Leonardo to say like, oh yeah, we're good, bruh. The movie is very disappointing. It's a shame, really, because it could have been great. It should have been great. You just see so much untapped potential with this film, and clearly it was a disappointment because they never made a sequel to this thing, which I really wish they would have, because there was so much here that they could have used, and they didn't. It's definitely one of the most disappointing films that I have reviewed on this channel, and I've been doing this for almost 10 years, well over 1,000 reviews on this channel. This is definitely one of the most disappointing. I'm going to give TMNT 2 out of 5 Blu-rays. I've had better. So guys, if you've seen TMNT, what did you think about it? What is your ranking of all the Ninja Turtle films that are out there? Whatever you thought, comment below and let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell so you'll know the next time I'm releasing my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time on the channel, but in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.